Hey guys, it's Portia. Well, yeah. Welcome to Red Nails. It's a podcast where I talk about anything I feel like talking about. And today we're talking about cheating. I fucking hate cheating. I hate it. Um, well, why am I talking about this? So Ariana Grande cheated on Dalton Gomez. It is really obvious. I don't think you could get past it. And I don't think everyone's putting her up to accountability just because she's Ariana Grande. Yes, I love her music. I think she's a wonderful person, but what she did was really fucked up. It's fucked up. Thank you. Like I'm saying it as it is. It's disgusting. I don't like it. Will I still go to her concert? Yes, I will. But you know what? No one's putting her up to accountability, and you know what? I'm gonna do it. Okay. So, um, I've seen like tons of videos on this and going over it, and no one's putting accountability. Everyone's just like, because everyone wants to meet Ariana. I still want to meet Ariana too, but what she did is so messed up. Like I can't like okay, I knew she like helped cheated in the past. Do you know Big Sean? Apparently it's speculated. I mean, if you read gosh, what's her name? Um she played Santana in Glee and she recently passed. Oh, Naya Rivera. Right? Is it Naya Rivera? Yes. Okay, she passed. Okay, and she wrote in her book, she walked in and saw Ariana and her man that she's engaged to hooking up. So Ariana kind of likes to do this crap. She likes to do this shit. Okay? And I don't think it's fucking cool. I think it's disgusting. And also, you did this to a married person. And, like, you're married too. Yeah, like, oh, let's go fuck up two other people. For us. Like, maybe that's a little selfish. Maybe if you don't like a person, just break up with them first. Just a thought. Or maybe just sit and reconcile. Maybe go hook up with a couple people. Like, after you cheat. No, after you break up. Or like, take time to like sit and think about your thoughts. Like, you don't know the power you have over men right now, Ariana. Like, okay, I was listening to Aphrodite and he's like, yeah, she doesn't know that she has the power over men. Which is like, I get it. So I'm gonna talk about though how cheating creates trauma for everyone. Okay? So basically how it affected me. Alright, so this is like childhood shit. Alright? So my mom got cheated on twice. Twice. By like two different people. Okay? The first one that cheated on her, it was a guy that basically ghosted her for a whole month. And she called him and she's like, hey, are we still a thing? And then it was a girl who picked up and she's like, I'm his girlfriend. Think about that. Think about that. The second time my mom got cheated on, she found out. And then she left the man, and then a year later, he found where she was working, ran over to her and begged for her back and said, why didn't you come back to me? And Mom was like, why would I come back to you? Why would I come back to you? So, yeah. She said, why would I come back to you? And I think now I'm getting emotional and I'm just like spinning out stuff. But that affected my mom greatly. And like luckily she met my dad and I'm born, thank goodness. Because, my dad's actually a smart human being. But how did this affect me in the long run? Well, also, I saw like an act of it happen to my brother in high school. Because I was a senior, he was a freshman. My brother asked this girl out on a date. And then she's like, yeah. And then I saw her like with another dude at the dance. And then I was like, I was like, oh. And like, I got a little emotional. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, you're a disgusting human being. Like, it hurt my brother. I remember when I saw that, I came back that night and I told my brother. My brother's like, no. It's not true. It's not true. It's not true. And then he found out it was true, of course. Because, like, of course, why would I lie to him, So he was, like, really sad and really emotional. And this girl kept trying to hit him up, like, years later. Pathetic piece of... Okay. So how did this affect me in the long run? I think like because of this, like every time I'm with somebody who I legitimately find serious, my mom would always say like, "Be careful, be careful, be careful." Like, "Oh, be careful, they're gonna cheat on you. Be careful, be careful." And like that puts so many thoughts in my head for like one day I saw the guy I was with and then he had like a red neck and then I was like, "Oh my gosh." And I probably thought the rash was a hickey, but like I think he still cheated. But like I literally took a picture and asked all my friends like a psychopath. And he's like, "I would never do that. You really thought I did that?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's not good. That's not good." So like and then it happened last time when I was like with my real relationship with my second one, the second Johnny. And then I thought too, but he didn't. I know he didn't. I know he didn't. But it even happened though with like the recent last person I was seeing. But then I think like it's usually my gut feeling though, so it's correct. Like I knew he like was messing around with somebody else and was like kind of gaslighting me and blaming me because I didn't want to sleep with him at the time because I just started like hanging out, like starting considering the idea, and we didn't even go on a date yet. I gotta talk about that sometime. But it really like messed up with my trust issues as like as of right now, even when like back then, because like your mom's always like screaming at your face like, "Oh, don't be careful, be careful, be careful." But then it's like if I'm always like this, like why would I want to be in a relationship? It's like if you ever watched Sex in the City, there's a scene where Samantha gets cheated on by like that super rich dude Richard, I think. And what happened was that after he cheated on her, they got back together. And then one day she leaves him alone in a hotel room and she's like panicking. So she ran up like 8 stories or something like that to like go say like no, not 8, like 81. To go like see if he to catch him, and he didn't obviously. But then she was like, "I don't want to live like this for the rest of my life. I shouldn't be living like this." And then she puts the ring down and leaves, which is like good for her. So that's the whole thing. I think like in terms of like the whole cheating thing, I think it's disgusting and it puts trauma on a lot of people. So I just wanted to put accountability on the spot because like people are acting like cheating's not a big deal, and I think we gotta keep marriages like important. I don't want to like go into a marriage like freaking out. Okay, imagine how freaked out Dalton's kids would be, or Ariana's kids for that matter, because imagine how both of their kids in like even though it's two different individuals, imagine how their kids would be affected knowing this story and knowing that their parents have engaged in it. Imagine how that would make them feel. And I'm not saying Dalton is the same either. I've heard he might have cheated as well in the process. I'm not saying anyone taking anyone's side, but I'm just saying it's a disgusting situation and we should absolutely not let somebody slide on this kind of thing because it's like, whoa, whoa, like that's, it's gross. It's absolutely gross. Just because of this story. Think about that. Think about that. Like, I'm already freaked out. Like, I got trauma passed down to me. And it's like, whoa, I don't want my kid to have that for me. Because, like, I caught that on at some point from my mom. And I was like, "Mom, can you stop saying these things? Because then it's affecting me mentally." Because usually what your parents or your guardians say most of the time will affect you. For example, like there's scientific studies or whatever that every time a mother like beats herself up in front of others about like for example her body, then she goes like, she goes sad, and then like it's like mom saying like I'm fat, and then the kid will be thinking like that, and they would demote their thoughts. And then every time my mom says that, I tell her to stop saying it because it's like A, affirmations, B, if you're saying those types of things, it's going to affect me, and it's going to affect me mentally. So I want to like, you know, in a sense, if you have a chance and if your parent says something weird that is demoralizing to themselves or can demoralize you mentally, you gotta tell them and say, you need to fix this behavior because it's not good for you, nor is it good for me. And I find that very valid and I find that very important because it's just going back to talking about it, cheating is a disgusting, despicable thing. No one should do it. And I hope you guys no, just don't cheat. Don't cheat. Also, I got accused of cheating. Do you want me to tell you this? Okay. Literally, it was my first boyfriend. Ugh, we don't say that. Anyways, but like it was like a first relationship. Like what do you expect? So he accused me of cheating because I kissed a guy on the cheek. But I was in Europe and it's European culture sometimes to kiss a cheek. Like if you ever looked it up, they do it all the time in Paris. I was just doing it because the guy asked for it. It was a welcome greeting cheek kiss, and it was for a discount. He gave me a $400 discount, and he's like, just to do a cheek kiss. I'm like, oh, all right. Like what? It's European greetings. I mean, like it's custom in Europe. It's like, what do you expect? So don't accuse me of cheating. I've never cheated. I never will cheat. I think it's disgusting. And I think people just need to take more accountability, and people need to actually put accountability on Ariana because nobody's putting accountability on her really because they're scared and they're thinking, well, what if I get like Ariana hate train and la 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 la. Like, even her fans, I bet, are pretty disappointed in this because it's like we all want to view her in this positive light. I am a fan myself, but then it's like I can't support that kind of stuff because imagine how like sad and broken Dalton feels, and it's just like he must feel very sad, or like Ethan's wife. Imagine how sad she must feel because she's like, oh, am I enough? Like he left me for Ariana Grande. And then like everyone's just mentally sad, and it's I don't like it. Nobody wins from this situation. I think if both respectable sides broke up before they did anything, I think that would be totally fine. But if there is cheating involved, and it sucks, my condolences go out to the child because that child will live with so much trauma. Imagine like how much trauma that kid would live with, because then they're like, oh wow, like my dad must not care enough about me, and like will Ethan even take care of his kid? Like would he? Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get involved with that, but would he take care of his kid? Think about that. I don't think he would because he's too busy running around with Ariana Grande. And then it's like, and the kid will be thinking like, God, like, and then the kid will also be traumatized by cheating, okay? Because cheating spreads through generations of trauma. Just because of a couple people engaging in a horrible thing, it can affect people long down the line, and it's not even like the people you think about, like, and I think it's important to just keep accountability because it's just all right, that's the end of this podcast. Thank you for listening. This is Portia. Goodbye.